10-gallon tank. You've got one. I've got ideas. Let's do this. The first idea I've got is ENDLERS LIVEBEARERS mixed with plants. Get that farm going on multiple levels. So get yourself some nice N-class ENDLERS, just a traditional look. Maybe you go exotic, you go tiger ENDLER if you want, but just some normal basic ones. They're actually pretty in demand to find just the normal ENDLERS. And they're super hardy. I find 6.5 pH to infinity pretty much, and almost any temperature. I would say about 68 and up. Really easy, and a lot of color gonna be living in there. Yeah, the females are a little bland and silver, but the male's super showy. Get yourself some plants growing, maybe you're farming some of that, and what's not to like, really? Very little filtration needs, food is easy, they'll eat anything. Throw in a pellet, maybe even it's made for a cichlid. They don't care, they're gonna eat it. Put in some flake food, put in frozen food, put in anything. They're gonna love it. Super easy to take care of tank, always alive and bursting with life. And so it's great for a desktop, it's great for a kid, it's great for anyone. Even I love that. I just like to upscale it more. I just like that tank in 100 gallons instead of 10 gallons. But start yourself at the 10, fall in love with it, then go ahead and supersize that thing. You'll really enjoy it. You can always bring a scoop into your local fish store, or you got a buddy, or whatever it's going to be. Maybe even get a little bit of store credit out of that. But it's one of my absolute favorite tanks to play with. And I've got them living with some turtles right now. Next up in the 10-gallon, this is the, ooh, what is that type of fish tank? So we're going to do some clown killies up top, and they're a little nano fish. They look like a rocket, so they're super cool. Get a tight-fitting lid so they don't rocket right out of the top of your tank, but they only get about 1 3/4, 2 inches or so. Get a group of 6 or more. They're a little spendy at that $4 or $5 level. Then we're going to go with an oddball nano type fish, which is some SCARLET BADIS, or aka Scarlet Badass, because they look so cool. They only get about 1 3/4 inches themselves. Males super colorful, females non-existent. They pretty much just are really hard to find, and so you're going to get multiple males when you're buying, most likely. So make sure you got a lot of caves and plants for them to separate. They never really kill each other, but they can be a little bit finicky to feed. I recommend frozen food only. So maybe you're going to do frozen baby brine, frozen cyclops, maybe you got cyclops E's, maybe you're going to do hatch out live baby brine, maybe you've got Daphnia, something like that. All the clown killies will love that as well. And then I like to add a little bit more spice to the life there, add some KUHLI loaches down low, little squiggly worms that will eat all that stuff after those guys are done eating. And then Pink's ramshorn snails. You're like, wait, you said loaches. Loaches eat snails. They don't. Not the KUHLI loach. KUHLI loach doesn't eat a snail. It's got a different mouth structure. So they can cohabitate. So you got these big old pink snails that are like the size of your fish. And you got KUHLI loaches spaghetti worming around. And then you got these really cool looking Scarlet Badis. And you've got these rocket killies at the top, or the clown killies. Super cool. Everyone, what is that? Wow, hadn't seen that. You're going to get that a lot to any other fish keeper. And just a super fun setup that you can enjoy in only 10 gallons. All right, this tank is just a little bit, I call it the upside down forest. So I did this on a much bigger scale. Was actually my first aquarium ever that I did this in. And that is a bunch of water lettuce. So it's a floating plant with longer leaves. You can order it online. They don't ship that great. Most places will make it right though. So if you order and it comes in like, ooh, you can still grow it. Maybe they'll throw you half your money back. Maybe they'll credit the whole thing. We don't sell it anymore because we haven't found a great way to sell it yet either. But you should be able to find it on eBay and Aquabid and a lot of websites, just not ours. And you put a lot of light on that, like a crazy amount, and the roots will get super long, and it looks like a forest just turned upside down. It looks like all these trees. And then you get yourself some fish that are going to wade through the weeds, right? And so with that, I like to go with green neon tetras, because they're kind of got that like green reflective color as they go through there. Get a group of like 6 or 8 of those bad boys. And then rosy loaches. They're a loach that only get about 1.5 inches. Get a nice red, orangey color on the males. Females, not so much. And then the hardest part about that tank is feeding. Because you got all this, you can't just drop it off the top. You got to kind of make a hole. And a lot of times we'll feed with tweezers. Get the food in there and then shake it around underneath so that way it drops down for the fish to eat. And pH, you know, kind of 6.8 and above to 7.5. Water temperature 69 and above. Like, it doesn't have to be super hot. But I would shoot for 72 to 75 is where I would shoot for that. And super low maintenance tank, always a crowd pleaser, looks super cool. You're gonna have to thin a lot of that water lettuce out, which hopefully you got a turtle to feed it to, or a store to give it to, or a buddy who needs it. And yeah, great little tank, upside down forest. All right, the next tank is a breeder tank. Not a lot of people do a lot of breeding, but if you do, this one can be very profitable as well, and that is longfin white clouds. As long as you keep only longfin white clouds and nothing else, they will make more. So no snails, no shrimp, nothing to prey on it besides the longfin white clouds. Then you just plant it up a bunch, get some floating plants in there, get some plants on the bottom, get some plants in the corner, plants over here. And as they breed every single day and they're sparring with each other, eggs are going to go flying and some of those eggs are going to hatch. And as long as we're feeding some very fine foods, that will work. So you can get yourself like some Rapashi food, feed that powder. You can use the Aquarium Co-op fry food. You can use Hikari First Bites. You can use live baby brine shrimp. That would really set it off. If you're trying to make money, use live baby brine shrimp. And just keep doing that day after day after day, and pretty soon you're going to go, wow, I got generations going on. The adults typically won't eat babies, but juveniles, so kind of half adults, will eat babies. So you get these like generations raising up. Oh, there's no super small babies. Once they kind of get to adult age, then, oh, babies are coming again. So don't think like it's just too crowded, but a lot of times it has to go in waves. And eventually it will become so crowded because you're so good at your job that you can sell those off. And they typically retail at like $5 or $6 a piece at a store, so you're gonna get, you know, probably $2 a piece, and that ain't bad for a tank that doesn't even require heat and really nothing but feeding to get them to breed. And you're gonna have live plants in there, so fun breeding tank. Can do it in the office, and then you're like, oh yeah, once a quarter I scoop some of the fish out and I sell my fish store and I trade it for fish food. Self-sustaining system. Fun, fun, fun.